To be honest, I don't really read books.
Hi, hello, it's nice to see you. I'm glad you could make it to this kind of a little bit special. Think of it as like a one-time only deal situation, because if you didn't know, I do in fact have a book club, and over on said book club, I do a semi-frequent podcast show called The Madison Manuscript, where I just talk all things life and kind of just jibber jabber, unfiltered, unedited, just kind of talking and chatting with you guys. However, I've gotten into the habit of every single time I'm with a book girly, or in this case, a group of book girlies, I gather a list of questions, ask them and pick their brains, and just like kind of have a conversation about things that's not edited and just kind of our unfiltered thoughts. And said group of book girlies and I filmed for an hour and a half last night, just kind of chatting. And the initial plan was just for it to go in the book club. But once we wrapped it up, I feel like I got to fall in love with them all over again, and I got to learn so much more about them, and it was such a good conversation. So for one time only, the podcast is making it over to the channel. Now the podcast is a little bit different than everything else I post here. It's very raw, unedited, kind of just what we're thinking. Nothing overly edited and nothing overly produced. So if you're into that kind of thing, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, you can lock your phone, leave it somewhere, do chores, and we're just gonna yap about books and life. And I've had such the immense pleasure of getting to know these girls, so I hope you get to know all of us a little bit better. Yeah, and obviously if you want to see all the other episodes, those are available in the book club. Okay, let's go. Hi, hello, it's nice to see you. I'm glad you could make it to another episode of Madison Manuscript. Hi, hello, it's been a minute since we have done one of these. However, I don't know if you can tell from the background or what's going on right now, but I'm obviously not at home. And maybe by now you've seen, now you haven't. If I'm honest, this is coming out first. However, I do have a couple of book besties with me right now. And I thought, what an awesome fucking opportunity to pick their brains and get some questions answered. And I did do kind of a completely different list of questions from the ones I answered for you guys in the first episode and the ones I asked Emily in the last episode. So we're going to bring in our book besties and we're going to just chat. We're going to chat. So grab your popcorn, grab a drink, turn it off. Put me in your cupboard and put me on a speaker. I don't care. You don't have to watch this, because we're just chit-chatting. So, let's go. We're going to do a little bit of an introduction moment, okay? We're going to start off with name. I would say username, but I think we know them all. And then favorite book. Like, off the top of your head, just like, favorite book. Okay. Like, someone asked you in the grocery store. Okay? Yeah. Love.
Queen of Shadows. Oh, name, Emily.
First and foremost.
Yeah, first and foremost, my favorite book is Queen of Shadows. Second, like, in order of importance, my name is Emily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm Bailey. My favorite book off the top of my head is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I'm Emmy. My favorite book is Clockwork Princess.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start off kind of tame. That's the vibes I'm going with. And then, like, get a little raunchier is not the word, spicier. And then from there, end on a little fun note. That's the energy I have. And let's see if I can really, really accomplish that. However, starting off, we're going to go like in a circle kind of vibes, but also if you have anything to add it whenever.
Okay.
But what is the book that first got you into reading?
First in my life?
Mm-hmm.
My first book that I ever really loved was Curious George.
But
So I was not expecting that.
I loved Curious George. I don't think that's like super applicable to my reading taste now. But the first book that got me actually into like fantasy romance was Anything and Everything by Rick Riordan. When I was in like grade 4, I think it was, we did a novel study for Percy Jackson, and then I read every book that he's ever written, and that got me into fantasy romance. So, and then City of Bones.
okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Clacky. Mr. Krabs.
Why do I do all my? I do it like this. I'm like, who am I?
Yeah,
Pinching?
no.
Yeah.
Inside is Clockit.
Okay.
Outside is Mr. Krabs.
Am I not supposed to put my fingers down?
Well,
No, it has to be up.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I do it right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, woo. Anyways.
So my answer is actually the exact same.
We'll get that.
Me and Emily, actually, we had the exact same childhood in terms of reading, well, and other things, but in terms of reading things too, because Percy Jackson opened up this, like, I have a whole Greek mythology sleeve dedicated, because I fell in love with Greek mythology due to that, but it was also City of Bones, and, I mean, just a whole bunch of other books. Charlie Bone, which is, like, a middle grade series that nobody has heard of ever, and I can never find a copy anymore. But like, it was just this weird. There was a snake involved. I don't know. Anyways, but really, Percy Jackson. Yep, Percy Jackson.
where do you start?
Our journeys are kind of similar.
It was like
Correct.
getting into reading from as soon as I could read, I read everything and anything up until the age of like 13, where I read obviously like Twilight and the Hunger Games, and then the Hunger Games gave me like god tier depression. And as a teenager, I was like, why do I feel so physically sick reading this series and finishing it? And I didn't know how to process those emotions. So I swore to myself that I could never read a book ever again. So then I didn't until a year and a half ago. And then I picked up ACTA when I was having burnout. And I read that and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. And then I got the god tier depression again. And I was like, okay, well, maybe if I read something else, it'll make me feel better. And then it just kept happening. So then I was like, okay, maybe this is just a thing. And it didn't happen at the time. Yeah, I was like, okay, this happens, but the books are so good that I just got to suck it up and get on with it. And then from there, we're here today now. It's just non-stop, like 20 books a month reading since ACTA last year.
Your book journey, like watching you go on your book journey is just like one of the most singular experiences I've ever seen. Like going from reading Avatar a year and a half ago to reading fucking 400 books a year. It's nuts.
No, it's crazy.
Like, Emmy's the kind of person, too, speaking of 400 books a year, where, like, there's a lot of people online that are like, there's no way you can read 200 books in a year and absorb what you're reading and critically think about it. And Emmy regurgitates every fact about the book after reading it in 30 seconds. She has superpowers. So anybody that has anything to say about how fast Emmy reads, that like maybe she's not absorbing it, I unfortunately promise you she is.
So her superpower is actually just that she's autistic.
Fun fact.
Pretty much that's basically it. But it's like there's so many times as well. I don't know what it is about the way that we're going to have a tangent, but the way that I describe books to talk about books. But so many times to Laura, I'm like, you need to read this book. You really love it. And she's like, what is it about? Tell me about it. And I read the blurb. So I don't read it, but I tell her information that's only on the blurb, so like it doesn't spoil anything to her. But I will talk about it for 5 minutes, and she's like, but I feel like I've read the entire book now. I'm like, no, that's just the blurb. And she's like, how did you get all of that from like the blurb, or just like the introduction stuff? I'm like, I don't know what it is. My brain just works like that.
It's made for storytelling, made for story absorbing.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the book or video that made you post your first Booktok video?
Ooh, that's a good one. I need to check my sources. Let me find out what my first video was so I can recall that memory.
Go back into it. I love it.
Mine was Iron Flame because I finished that and I'd been thinking about making a book talk for a while because I yapped my friends' ears off all the time. Like, I never really stopped reading except for like a year in high school when I tried to be cool. So I thought about book talk, like I've been on it since it started and I thought it was so sick. I just never thought I was brave enough to talk to a camera. And then I read Iron Flame and I was like, I need to find a community that's as devastated as me about this ending. And the rest is history, really. So
That's where she goes.
Yep.
I love it.
No, keep talking because I'm having to scroll.
Oh, we can take a second. That's fine.
Yeah, we're having to scroll.
Maddie, what book made you?
I actually don't know if I have a book that did. Like, I feel like the most mentally unwell as I've ever been. Not like depressed, like manic. Like really not doing well, quit my job, and I read a book because of a comment that someone in my life made. That was like, I was uneducated and I needed to do things, and I started reading kind of for shits and gigs, and then I was like, holy fuck, this escapism is like real.
Unlike
Escapism
anything
is real.
else.
Yeah, like could not do without it anymore. And then I got my first book talk video, and I'd already been making content like on and off like most of my life. I had the cameras, I had everything, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a book talk video of the books that got me into reading. Which like that video, it's like rock, paper, scissors. It ends with a guitar, like as basic as it gets. Like even rock, paper, scissors, I made my boyfriend read it, and he was like, it's good. It doesn't read anything, and he was like, yeah, it's fine. And when I read it, I was like, this is a thriller? What? Yeah, I had no idea what was gonna happen. No idea. But I still love that book for nostalgic reasons. Let's hear it.
So this is actually so funny. Whenever I first started posting on Booktok, I actually did not post my face in the videos. I did like aesthetic videos first.
That's so cunty.
And it was, wait for it, Magnolia Parks. Magnolia Parks is what started my Booktok journey, actually. And then right after that came like Mindfuck and A Dowry of Blood, Fairy Tale, Dark Earth series. I'm like, it was literally January 26, 2023 is whenever I started posting aesthetic videos without my face. And then I first started posting my face in videos, let's see, in October of 2023.
Oh my god.
And the one that made me want to post it like that was actually Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman.
I need to talk about this.
That book, yeah, it was very traumatizing, but in the best way. So, but Magnolia Parks, and of course, Julian Hates was the one that made me start talking. I love that.
Daddy
idea.
hates.
If he was real, I would have to apologize to my husband.
Yeah.
How do I top that? I have like two separate, like, because I think I started my TikTok first, but I had my YouTube channel before, but I was doing like lifestyle. I have 4,000 subscribers and on this new channel that I had started, but I was posting like routines and like vlogs, and I didn't know what I wanted to do or anything. And after I'd read ACTA, there's a video on my channel from the 10th of March last year, and it's like a Sunday routine, and I'm reading ACTA in it.
That's so
And that's like the
crazy.
first time that you see like a book on my thing.
Yeah.
And then like the videos after that is all book stuff, because I was like, I got obsessed with that. I've read the whole series, and I was like, I need to talk to someone about this. I have no one to talk about it. And I ran like I was on TikTok, so I was on my personal TikTok account, and like I saw these videos, and then obviously the algorithm works. You put onto Booktok, so I was like, wait, there's a whole space of people like talking about books that they're reading and that. So I was like, okay, and I made like 1 or 2 Booktok videos on my personal account, and then I went, no, I was actually, Laura was the first like Booktoker I found. Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah, she was like the first one I followed, and I saw that she had her home account and then she had a book account. So I like followed her for a week, posted one on my personal account, and went, no, I'm making a Booktok. So I went and made a Booktok, and she's like the first person I'm following on my Booktok account. And then I started posting my videos there, and then they were doing really well, and it was like the first 3 days, and like the first 3 videos like popped off. So I was like, wow, and I was speaking to my best friend about it, and she's like, here are some like booktubers, book videos that I've seen, like there's a whole thing on it about it on YouTube, like people are making like reading vlogs, you should do that too. So I was like, oh, I just thought TikTok, and then I went to YouTube, and then after that I was like reading wrap-ups, reviews, everything, just like straight into it. Yeah, like full send, like straight
Thank
into
God
it.
for that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, and the rest is history.
Oh, no, you're
And the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one, rapid fire, can't think about it, don't elaborate. Well, you can elaborate, that's what I meant, but I meant like, no need to stress about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, first
I
thought,
like, say your answer and then shut the fuck
fuck up. What book have you read because of each of the 3 of us? So like, I read Fairy Tale because of Bailey. I've read so many because of you. There's like so many places that I could take this. There's like, what would be my number one that I read? Well, Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legacy would be the number one. And from you, you gave it to me, but this is the one that comes to mind the most. I think, like, I associate you with the most. Daughter of No Worlds.
Yeah, as it should be.
I read God of the Woods because you gave it to me same day. I'm just copying. I read I've read a lot because of you.
Aww.
I actually
I love you too.
I actually Direbound is the most recent one I think that was like really stands out in terms of I fucking loved it. I read a lot because of you too. I thought about it. Yep. I read City of Gods and Monsters because of you.
That's,
A
yeah.
lot of people associate me with that series, which is funny because I read it because of other people. Like I read it, you had already read it. Yeah,
I read it before Mariana did.
Yeah, so
And then she texted, actually, but then I read the 3rd book after she had read it. So, like, it was kind of nice getting to...
So, like, I read it because of you and her. And then I also read, like, Diagram because of you. Like, I put on my Instagram story, I was like, what a book recommendation for love triangles? And everyone was like, Diagram. And I was like, Bailey's reading that and raving about that. So I went and read that because of you. You made me read... Amid Clouds and Bones, Legacy, yeah, like so many of my like favorite top reads I've read because of you.
Stop it, I love you.
I would say that like City of Gods and Monsters is a good example. There's probably more, but like on the other side of that, half my TBR is because of you. Like if I ever don't know what to read in the fantasy romance genre, I'm like, fuck, we're gonna pull up Emmy's Goodreads, I guess.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, like I just like it's like a gold mine in there. But like my brain isn't braining, but that is one.
You're like a book dragon, and we come to steal your gold.
Oh, that's a crazy analogy. That is. I'm so sorry. I love that. I love it.
I just filmed an entire YouTube video where you all picked the books that I read.
Can't use that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I have there are other books that I have read because of all of you. I read A Dance of Lies recently because of them. Love that. Because of you, actually.
Okay.
I watched your Magnolia Parks reading vlog before I ever read any of the books.
All the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. And
I didn't spoil it.
No, what
That's
like
yeah.
yeah, and that made me want to go and read it because I had no desire. Like I'd heard of it, but I had no desire to read it. And then I watched you crying.
I'm saying sobbing.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, what is this series? And then after that, I went and searched like Magnolia Parks reading vlogs and watched a couple after. But because of you, I went and bought the first
Whole series.
Yeah, the first Magnolia books.
I've seen that video where you bought them now.
Yeah.
That's so funny because now I've watched everyone's backlog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're such a YouTube girl.
Oh my god, I love my chronic issue is I'm trying again. My chronic issue is I watch everything on like approximately 3 times speed. So like everyone's hour-long video lasts me like doing my foundation.
That's wild.
I watch everything on 2 times speed on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I watch everything in normal, just one.
It's because that's how it should be because it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch things like I'm racing.
Yeah.
But I also will get bored.
Oh, okay, me. Yay.
Yeah,
You got me to read The Favorites at the beginning of the year, and that
She's
was my
talking to Emmy, by the way.
I'm so sorry. I'm
my
talking
God,
to Emmy.
So much
Emmy got me to read The Favorites at the beginning of the year, and it is like crazy, toxic, very Magnolia Parks, but also a love letter to whiskey vibes in terms of toxicity, and it was a 5-star. Also, Heavenly Bodies was another recent 5-star this year, and we love that. I'm the only one that didn't do it. Let's do it again.
It's the way we all just did
That's the instinct of the whole everyone.
But yeah, no, Heavenly Bodies. And I giggled so much that my husband was like, are you okay? Whenever I was reading, I love that book. You most recently was God of the Woods.
Yes.
It was God of the Woods. And I actually still think about that book. I think I should have rated it higher than I did. I actually made my mom, I made my mom download the audio book for that. Also, I was talking to Maddie. I keep saying you, not the names.
That's all good.
But yeah, my mom downloaded the audiobook and I was like, you are going to love this. Going to love it. I loved that book. And
So good.
next is going to be Gifted and Talented, mark my words. I really feel like I'm going to love it.
I hope.
And then recently was, of course, Servant of Earth. Servant of Earth is like one of my favorite books of the year, and it will stay that way. And I cannot wait for Princess of Blood.
Oh,
That is such a good fantasy romance series, like honestly.
I think Princess of Blood is in my top 3 easily from the year.
I'm
That's
afraid. I'm
crazy.
afraid for the ending of that.
Yeah.
The ending of Princess of Blood is worse than the ending of Servant of Earth by about 700 million
See,
times.
but I feel like the ending of Servant of Earth really was. It
wasn't
wasn't
too
that
bad.
bad. Yeah, like it was a good stopping point.
Yeah, this
like-
isn't.
Oh,
LOL.
great!
I sat in silence and stared at my wall for approximately 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. Do I need to wait for book 3 then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You're just saying that because of
No.
I'm saying it because I want you to suffer with me, please.
Okay, I'll be right there with you in the straitjacket.
Okay.
Right there. Okay. What has been your favorite video of yours you've ever made?
I know.
I know yours.
You go.
I know my favorite of yours,
What's your one of mine?
the New York bookshop
Oh, really?
swap. I
Yeah.
love that video.
I think the Texas one could overtake
Yeah,
that
I-
one.
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, I like my collab videos the best. So like, whether it's like booktubers choosing my reads or something, I just think it's so fun. And I don't know why, but I want to do more with the editing as well too. So that I find like it's just more. It's so fun to film. It feels like it's more interactive because it's not just me. So they are always my favorite ones.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Em's checking
your
her
favorite.
sources.
Oh, we're doing YouTube videos.
Or anything.
Any video.
Yeah. Or actually, you know what my favorite of yours is?
What?
Your Iron Flame recap. That was so
Oh,
good.
I actually do think that my Iron Flame recap on TikTok is my favorite TikTok I've ever made, just because that was my first like endeavor with my actual camera. And then I never did it again, so I don't really.
Because you had to reread
I don't think
the
I've seen
entire
it.
it got over 1 million views.
I hated Iron Flame. Well, like I loved Fourth Wing. I loved honestly. When I read Iron Flame, I was so angry at it that anytime Iron Flame videos would come up on my For You page, I'd skip them because I'm like, I don't want to listen to this.
That's
shit,
right.
You know.
Yeah, I posted the Iron Flame recap right before Onyx Garden. That's probably my favorite TikTok I've ever made, just because I feel like I encapsulated the vibes of Iron Flame in the like synopsis pretty well.
Oh, wow. Let's look it up now.
And then I think my favorite YouTube video I've ever made was my Pacific Northwest reading vlog, just because I adore the Pacific Northwest and I put a lot of editing and effort and hours into that one.
I think I don't really have a favorite TikTok because there's so many. I feel like there's so many TikToks. But YouTube is either going to be the New York trip game that we played, only because that was such a freaking labor of love because it had no audio after I filmed it. So I had to get everybody to voiceover separately. And it was a nightmare, but it actually turned out so cute. Or it's a vlog that I did fairly recently. It was reading till I find a 5-star read. And I stepped so far out of my comfort zone with that blog, like in terms of reading, and Blood Over Brighthaven ended up being like the one. And I love that book so much. So yeah.
I love it. Okay, we're getting a little spicier now.
Oh, I love that.
You don't have to elaborate if you don't want to, but you do need to answer.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever had a book that you hated, but you felt like you kind of had to read it and kind of had to like it, and you didn't? So your 100% honest rating.
Yes.
You have to say what book it is.
Liza Lena.
Oh yeah. It's just not your girl.
No, and I feel like I read book 1 and then everyone said book 2 got better, and it wasn't like I didn't hate it, but I just didn't understand the hype, and I really wanted to, because when everyone loves a book and they're all talking about it and like this is the best book of the year, I want to go in and have those same feelings and that same experience. So when I read it, I was like, this is like, I knew it was a darker fae fantasy romance, which is everything that I love, but I read it and I was like, I'm just not connecting to it. I'm not connecting the characters, the story, or the writing. But I'll continue on. And then I read book 2 and I was like, I'm definitely like, this just isn't for me. And that's it.
And that's the lore.
Yeah. And I wanted to love it. I
Yeah.
tried so hard. I just couldn't.
But I feel like everyone has their own flavors.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You guys both on Goodreads?
Yep.
I'm
But
dead.
I remembered.
I love.
Okay, so this one is actually one that I went back and I was honest about it afterwards
Okay.
because I wasn't really posting much whenever I read it. The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. I fucking hate that book. I fucking hate that book.
That's my least favorite book.
I am so sorry, but that is and I've heard that the series gets better or whatever, but that is a book where it's like 90% spice and 10% plot, and then at the end of it, whenever their kids have to go through, like, you're jumping forward into the future and they're talking about their kids having to go through initiation. I'm so sorry. You know that your kid is about to get dicked down. Why? Are you going to talk about that? Is that okay to say?
Let alone dick down. Like, when I tell you that girl needs to be submitted, like, she needs to go to the ER. Like, she needs to have multiple scans on her head, because the way he was slamming her into the ground, I was like, she's bleeding.
I also hated Liza Lena. So, that's the second. No, Sins of Silas. I hated that one more, actually. Liza Lena had
That
potential.
surprised me because everyone loves book 2 more. So you enjoyed book 1 and I was like, oh, you'll probably love book 2. And then
No, that book literally made no sense at all. So sorry.
That's okay.
Mine, I don't really, to be honest, I don't really read books that I don't think I'm gonna like. So I rate.
No,
cut
we
that
thought
clip.
we were gonna like
just
this.
cut that clip so it's Em saying, I don't really read books.
I just skim and then send it. No, I'm kidding. I
Jokes were made.
Where is it? Where'd it go?
You don't really read books.
I'm gonna get so much heat for this. And I just want everybody to take a deep breath and settle down, okay? I did a little bit, maybe exaggerate how much I liked One Dark Window.
Okay.
That's in my god tier, you whore.
I told everybody to calm down.
No, you are allowed to hate a book that
No, I didn't hate it. But I did. I like. So that's the only one I can think of. It doesn't fully answer your question because I rated it 5 stars. But upon a lot of reflection, I think the only reason I rated it 5 stars is because everybody loved it so much that I was like, oh, I can't be the one out of this. Like, there has to be something wrong with my brain that I didn't rate this 5 stars.
So what would you rate it now?
Probably a 4.
Wait, what about Two Twisted Crowns?
I liked Two Twisted Crowns.
Okay.
I even rated that 5 stars, and I don't think it should have been. Like, I just think that, like, for my taste in reading, like, I think I need to start being harder on my 5-star rating. So there's probably more that I could pick, but that's the first one that comes to mind. And Night in the Moth, it's almost 6. I stand by that wholeheartedly.
Totally valid, and I respect your opinion.
So if any of you guys see my ratings about those books, mind your business.
I love you.
I don't disagree, to be honest.
I personally think because what was it? Hello, my brain. The Night and the Moth wasn't a 5-star for me.
The Night and the Moth was
Yeah.
like a 6-star for me.
It was a 4.5.
And I think One Dark Window was a 4 and Two Twisted Crowns was a 4.5.
When I read
Yes.
the books, I said One Dark Window was a 4-star, Two Twisted Crowns 4.5 star,
Yes.
and The Night and the Moth was 4.5 stars.
I don't know. Those books made me so emotional.
Well, they
But it's so
did too.
like you. It's such
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
vibe,
Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
You know what? That just fixed everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I always say with Rachel Gillig, her
We're okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're okay.
I always say with Rachel Gillig, her books are very quaint, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like the world feels small. Like it feels like it's taking place in like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
You know?
That's perfect.
Okay. Okay. Do you think Booktok has changed the publishing industry for the better or for the worse?
Oh, I have opinions. You go ahead.
I think that Booktok has like changed the publishing industry probably for the better, because I feel like there's more like audience input. I know that's a really hot take because I feel like a lot of people are like, but the audience is stupid and nobody reads good books anymore. And I think that as somebody who grew up going to the bookstore feeling like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed, everybody around me is like way smarter than me and reading classical literature, and like the people at the bookstore that I went to growing up were the kind of people who would judge you for reading something that had romance or prioritizing a romantic storyline over anything else. And like I never was comfortable telling anybody about how much I loved it. And like a lot of the books that had the potential to be published probably weren't. And there's so many amazing indie stories that never, ever, 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 ever would be published if it weren't for Booktok. And I think that like it's such a small thing, like, oh wow, Emily, you fit in a bookstore now, good for you. But like it is a bit like that's like a safe, happy place for me. And now I go and I don't feel any like there's a whole gaggle of us, you know? Like we can go to the bookstore and our books are there at home on their shelves, and we don't have to refer to Wattpad stories for it anymore. And it's providing opportunities for really talented writers. Just because it's smutty and just because there are a couple shitty Booktok recommendations doesn't mean that it's changing the publishing industry for the worse. I would argue that like Booktok is bringing a lot of really important like voice and recognition to a lot of authors that deserve to be published. It doesn't matter if there's a few bad eggs. Like obviously there's going to be some fucking bad ones.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's really good.
yeah, I absolutely agree.
Fuck off, Queen.
I absolutely agree. Everything that you said, I do think it has changed it for the better, but I also think that the same story is getting published over and over, and people are kind of losing originality because marketability. Like,
Capitalism.
yes,
Yeah.
I think that we've seen, and granted, I mean, everything is different in its own way, and I think that themes are like people take inspiration all the time, and that is so that everything is inspired by something, right? There's no original ideas, but I think that there's a point where we've seen enough shadow daddies, we've seen enough I don't know, I love a love triangle, so like, but everything
They're on enough love triangles. That's one trope that people are like, I don't care for that, so they stopped writing, and I need them to bring it back, but continue.
but I
To
don't
be fair,
think
like on that note, think about like the publishing industry before Booktok. Think about the mystery section in a bookstore. How many copy paste stories are in the like? I don't.
No,
think
I
that's an
agree.
Industry that like changed significantly. I think that publishers have always done that. It's like a book works well, they copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste because like they know it's gonna sell. It's just now it's in this
romanticy.
genre and it's blown up because of social media. So I would like that's just like playing devil's advocate. I would
No,
you know what I mean?
I agree. I do think, I don't know, I think it's also the parasocial nature of how like publishing industries are also on Booktok now and everything. And I feel like
Feels like
Booktok
a
has
cheat code.
changed it in terms of like we have such easy access to these authors and to these publishing companies and stuff. And it's a good thing, but it can also be a very bad, like bullying Allie Hazelwood off of the internet. I feel like it's changed that. That would have never happened in the past, I feel like.
Biggest
Like if it was when we were kids reading, I feel like, you know, you didn't hear about that kind of stuff. So I mean, like, I feel like we are much more aware, but I also think that exactly what you said about how we aren't judged for what we want to read now, and it is giving so many opportunities, and I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing, especially for these indie authors that never would have gotten noticed otherwise. So, anywho, I agree. I don't know. Words.
Yeah.
Did I make any sense?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
You say no?
No, not at all.
My turn. What do I think? Well, to be fair, I've only been on the book space for the last year and a half, so I can't really comment too much about the publishing space and what it was like before, but even just what I have seen and all the articles and everything, like, more bookstores are opening, there are more readers than ever, like, everything is going up. And I do think that not even just like in publishing and in the book space, and like you were saying, like, it's just marketing. Historically, if you look at anything, if something's doing well, they will just like copy paste and repeat. That's normal. But I definitely do think that the amount of authors and indie authors, like, because some people are just bored of reading the same stuff over and over again. That's when you start looking to like indie books and other books and finding alternatives and stuff. And a lot of from speaking to a lot of people in publishing, it's very much like we're looking for books that are under 130,000 words. We're looking for books that are under 500 pages that are fantasy romance right now, or that are dystopian romance, or that are like X, Y, Z. So a lot of authors are writing to fit within that specific genre to get published, and then indie authors are just out here being like, this is the story that I want to tell. So I think
That's kind of special.
But I think the beauty of Booktok too is that like a lot of those authors, like Zodiac Academy, like that would have never gotten published it did without Booktok. You know? So I think that's cool because like then like those indie authors are still indie, and there's so many more of them that like published,
but like publishing and like partnering.
But the fact that they have those opportunities now because of this platform is so cool.
The platform is amazing. Absolutely.
Well, and it's also like music artists, like going from having like all encompassing 24/7 deals, like 365 deals, to like even like authors are getting more opportunities, and authors are being able to bring more to the table so that they're getting what they're worth.
It's made it to where you don't have to have connections in order to succeed. And that is a beautiful thing. You're exactly right.
And you're not like one of a million. Like if you it's not like, but it's the same as anything. Social media across the board, if you hustle and you're learning and you're trying and everything is getting better, you will eventually get noticed. And like it's another opportunity for an author to get published. Like think of all the authors that like we've read, like Lauren Roberts, we've watched her publish Powerless.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I think it's better or worse. I think for the better, but also
I think
for the better overall.
If there's more people picking up books, then that's always a good thing.
Yes,
always,
exactly. We're teaching empathy to people through reading.
Clap it. How do you handle negativity, whether it's backlash over a review or just general drama in the community?
I honestly just like the motto that replaces.
Also, just like how do you feel about it?
Yeah, well, like in my head, that has been drilled into me lots of time, and my mom talks about it a lot. Is like what other people think of you is none of your business. So I'm like, I can sit and be consumed by what each individual person thinks about me, but whether it's something positive or something negative, like that, not like dopamine, but like. Well, it kind of is like dopamine. Like
it is.
Yeah, it's just it's. I don't think it's a positive thing overall because like I live my life for me. That's it. If you don't like me, you don't like my reviews. That's fine. It's like it's not personal. You know, like it's not like you don't like me because I review books and read a genre that you don't like. That's fine. Like, we all have personal taste and opinion. So like, do I think there's a lot of negativity online in like any niche and genre and space? Yes, and when you're like putting yourself on the internet publicly, it's a lot. It's like. Everyone says like, "Oh, don't listen to it," blah blah. But it's so hard not to because we are human, and that's just like a normal human thing is to like care, especially when you have empathy and you care a bit too much, a bit sensitive. You know, all readers are. But
it's even like on social media, especially like the only analogy is like when you're in high school and you like know a girl is talking behind your back, but you like don't know what it's about. It doesn't like it definitely occupies your mind, especially when you're in high school. But like on social media, they tell you. Like you said that word too much. Why does your hair look that way? What are you doing this? And there's so many comments that can be veiled as like not they shouldn't matter, but they do matter. It's like you pointed out something that I was already thinking and like fuck, where do I go from here? And it's hard because there's like no original ideas. No one can do anything original. And like you can say, I loved this person's video more. Or this was better, or I saw someone do this, and you'll never not like the game of comparison never goes away, and like there's no way to handle it. You can't get better at it because like there'll be things that people say that you're like, fuck, that's my one thing. Like I'm trying to get over that too.
Yeah. It's like also, I feel like everyone is their own worst critic anyways. So there's so many times where I'll see people commenting things, and I'm like, why would you even comment that? Like like why do you need to say that? Like just scroll past and move on. But because it's like if you start caring about what every single person thinks, like everyone has different opinions and stuff anyways, like you're just gonna get stuck in the spiral. Like I love the trend that everyone was doing of like you when they like you versus you when they don't like you, and it's the exact same thing because it's so true. Like it literally at the end of the day does not matter. like does not matter at all. So it's like, okay, cool, random stranger, Steve 103, like maybe my content's just not for you.
With like his 3 chins zoomed in,
Yeah.
mustache, backwards ball cap.
My
You go.
I'm just giving them
no, I really want to hear what you have to say.
I really
actually.
want. Okay.
I really do.
I don't give a fuck. You don't like me actually at all.
She's my spirit animal. I want to be Emily when I grow up.
Like actually, please get a life because you have no idea what I'm like. Like not
Are you
guys.
talking to these people right now?
I love all of you so much. I'm not talking to you because you're all
They love
kind,
you.
amazing angel human beings. I'm talking to, you know who I'm talking about. The people that, like Emmy said, scroll. Like, if you're commenting, great, that boosts my engagement. I'll probably delete it if it makes me sad. Like, if you comment on my lazy eye. Actually, I have that keyword filtered. You can't comment about my lazy eye. But, like, genuinely, I just think that really, like, it's inevitable that hate is gonna happen and that you're gonna feel it. Like, you can't not feel it, right? I can't be like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And I don't. On, like, a conscious level, I truly don't give a fuck because, like I said, you don't know who I am. You can see, like, what I present to you on social media. And I like to think I'm pretty organic and I'm similar in person to how I am online. But at the same time, like, there are so many nuances to somebody's personality. And, like, I am posting a video to keep your attention span that is, like, 5 minutes or less long on TikTok. How are you gonna take something I say in that and come up with a whole narrative by yourself without hearing any single one of my trains of thought to like make up for that or excuse? You know what I mean? Like there's no nuanced justification I can give you to convince you to like me in like that short of a video. So like I don't give a fuck. And like the hate on Booktok, dude, readers have always been pretentious as shit. Like that's literally what I was just saying about how I never felt welcome in a bookstore. And it's great. Don't get me wrong. I love like embracing the pretentiousness sometimes, but like also fucking get a life. Like it's just genuinely get a life. I think it's one of the most brutal communities for shitting on people. And I just think that people don't give people any grace. So I think that it's terrible and it's gonna happen, but whatever. Fuck, just.
I love when you get passionate.
Yeah, I love this. And I'm also just like, why? Like, it's always the comments as well where it's like, oh, I can't trust you because you love this. It's like, well, why would you trust me in the first place anyways?
Yeah. You could be a fucking serial killer.
These are just 5 books I read in 24 hours. I'm not saying that you have to read them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, geez, like, all right, don't trust me.
Literally, I'm posting this because you think my content is entertaining, hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe, and maybe you'll find this entertaining. If you don't agree with me, great, comment about it, boost my engagement, and maybe we can, like, have a conversation about it. But, like, the hate, the, like, you are a garbage human being for liking, you are do you actually know anything ever? Is it your first day on Earth? Sorry.
My camera may or may not have died.
And we ate.
What's the word I want?
Continued. Okay, so how do we handle the hate? Here's the thing. We were talking about zodiac signs earlier. I am, in fact, a Scorpio. I will ride or fucking die for the people that I love. So, like, if anyone else is getting hate, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to back you up always. When it comes to me, on the other hand, I am not the best at handling it. I just want to fight everybody. But I can't do that. But also I'm like the person that gets really, like, I'll be like, oh, you know, whatever, they said this, I know that that's not true, and I'll just roll my eyes at it or whatever. Or I'll get like really mad and just talk to my husband about it, or one of these girls or something like that. But then when I'm going to bed at night, I'm spiraling and I'm thinking about all of these things and I'm like, oh my God, am I all, you know, XYZ or whatever. And then I wake up and thank God my husband is an Aries because he is, yeah, that's a word.
Bailey's angel.
Oh, thank you.
Kind of like Hell's Angels, like the motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
But Bailey's version.
Aw, that's so nice.
Pretty spot on.
But Randy is very good at kind of grounding me, not to bring him up for the 20,000th time.
We
but
always
he
want
really
to
does. He really, really does ground me. He really does ground me in those ways though. And he will, I mean, like, he will go to bat in the comments. But like, I'm like, no, but he'll talk to me about it and tell me, well, these people don't actually know you. And for some reason, when it comes from him, I'm like, oh, you know what? You're so right. Like, you are so right. It actually doesn't matter. And like, I think you're the one that said it. These people, the video that you were talking about, you know, how I am whenever people like me versus how I am when people don't like me. It's the same thing. That I have never in my life ever been everybody's cup of tea. I have always been, for some people, too much, and then other people too little, and then the right people just enough. And I feel like it's always going to be that way in any space you go into whatsoever. So how do I handle it? By leaning on the people that are, you know, that love
just
me.
enough.
Yeah, exactly.
That everyone says just enough.
Y'all are my just enough.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're not just enough. You're more than enough.
Stop. Say it.
No, I just think that's so like cool how you were like, oh, I've never in my whole life been everybody's cup of tea. Like I've spent my whole life trying to be everybody's cup of tea. So when I say I don't give a fuck, like now I don't, and I mean I still do, but like, do you know what I mean? I've spent so long giving too many fucks about what everybody thinks of me. So now it's like I like lost all of them, and like I've just realized like that it's the same thing. Like I've tried so hard to be everybody's. Like I needed the validation of everybody liking me growing up. And now it's more like I've had really terrible instances where that didn't go well and didn't work out for me, and I took it so to heart. And it's like I think back and I'm like, I wish that I would have had this mentality around it.
Yeah, because you aren't true to yourself, and when you're not being yourself, it's never going to end well.
So you're never going to impress anybody. You're never going to impress anybody.
We're not impressive at all.
You're never going to impress everybody, and I think that that's like a really, really, really important mentality to have if you're considering making something like social media, especially in an environment like Booktok. Like something
especially now. I feel like it didn't used to be like this.
Yeah.
Oh no. But that's what happens anytime that any like echo chamber begins to increase in size of like consumers and also like creators.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more eyes than ever, so there's gonna be more people who have opinions, so it's gonna feel even larger.
I think the like conversation of echo chambers now that we have social media, because the way that the stupidest little things, like we don't see anything the same. Like the amount of times like a piece of news, a piece of content, a piece of a sound, something stupid that someone's never fucking heard of. It's so weird. And it's plays into everything. Like it plays into your reading taste, your everything taste.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And like if you're in an echo chamber of negativity, which like we've seen a lot of people end up in echo chambers of negativity, it's like this repeating never ending cycle where this negativity feels fine. Like it feels like that's the baseline. And it's such a weird, like I understand how people like psychologically get into those echo chambers, and then the most decrepit, mean things become normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
that was really good.
She's like really good.
You're actually so smart.
it's almost like I have a whole ass political science degree.
I know, it's
So
crazy.
Okay,
That was
this
beautiful.
is. Thank you.
Wow. Okay,
That was so
sorry.
kind. Okay, this is a yes or no, like point blank period. If it's a yes, I'm making you elaborate in private later.
Yeah.
However, have you ever had an author reach out to you about a negative review?
Yes. But here it's a book that I read where no, it wasn't. It was
Shocked.
a book that I read based off. It was an indie author. She wrote a book and she was using a lot of like powerless marketing around it.
Okay.
Like she got Chase Brown to also do the thing, and the quotes that she was using were very powerless. So everyone's like, "This is powerless," and she's like, "No, it's not. It's my book. So read it." So I was like, "Okay, let me read it." Read it. I was so confused, and I made a very long Goodreads review about it. I didn't post videos being like, "This is the worst book," blah blah. Because I'm like, unless the book is super hyped and everyone's telling me to read it and asking for my opinion, I won't go and make a dedicated video being like, I didn't like this. But if someone's like, you need to read this, talk about it, what's your thoughts, blah, blah, I'll go on TikTok and be like, these are my thoughts. At that time, this was over a year ago, no one was asking me to read it. Like, it was just an indie book. But I thought, I'm going to leave a critical, concise Goodreads review. So I was like, I really wanted to love this. Like, the plot and the premise was really great, but it was like too much mishmash of different books, and it was very difficult to follow along. It felt like the author knew exactly where the story was going, but the reader didn't. Like, we were missing a lot of key information of like world building and setting up and stuff. And that was over a year ago. The author reached out to me like 2 weeks ago and was like, "Hi, Emmy, like I just wanted to reach out. Like I had seen your reviews on my book. It was like indie published. It has been completely rewritten and edited, a lot of it based off your review. But I want to send you a copy of the book if you're up for it to read. You don't have to like no post or anything. I'm not expecting you to change your mind on it, but just if you wanted to, like I have used your feedback to completely rewrite and fix my book."
Wait, that's
what's
nice.
supposed to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't reply because I was too afraid, and I then didn't want to feel pressured if I didn't like love it.
Yeah.
But I was like, that is how they like it should be.
How it should be
Yeah.
handled. Yeah.
And it was such a polite message and respectful. But I feel like I was also quite respectful in my thing. But like there were some
There's power in respect.
Yeah, it did make me feel a bit bad though, because there was a few times where like I had to use that like the trending sound because it was trending on Booktok, and to like it was, you know, there's like overlays where it's like books where it gives like the same vibes as this or whatever, and everyone in the comments is like, oh well, like you need to include Powerless because this is Powerless, and I was like, this is part 3, like Powerless isn't included one, but I was like, this audio is not Powerless, it's actually this other book, but I didn't enjoy it, so I would recommend it.
Okay.
And then I feel bad for saying that, but I'm also like, but I didn't say anything bad, you know. But like the fact that she saw my review and my Goodreads and stuff, which, fair enough. I think mine's the top review of it because it was such a small indie book.
No. No, I've never had an author reach out to me about a bad review.
I haven't either.
But I also don't really. I'm trying to get better about it, but I really don't do like dedicated
Focus on the negative.
Yeah, bad reviews. I do them more like in a wrap up.
Yeah.
Or in a like a trend that's like, you know, I liked it, I didn't love it, or like yes, no, maybe, or whatever, just because I feel like that's just kind of
That's your vibe.
that's yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of the same. I haven't had anybody reach out. I do think an author saw a bad review of mine. I don't have proof. It's just a hunch.
Interesting.
I have a hunch because they liked and unliked something of mine on Instagram once, and I know.
Was the thing they liked? Did it have the
And I know, or maybe it was TikTok, I can't remember, but I remember seeing it and being like, oh shit, and then they unliked it. And I know that I read a book semi-recently by one of that author's best friends, and I tagged them in a bunch of really positive things, and she didn't acknowledge a single one of them. So I think that the author saw my negative review and which is so fair. That is her prerogative. That's her bestie. I understand. I'm not like, oh my god, she didn't acknowledge any of my positives. I just tagged the author in case people that follow me saw all my positive ravings about this book and wanted to go stalk the author's profile. Really, it wasn't I wasn't fishing for this author's attention because I liked her book. It was more just oh, here, I like this author by this girl, here's her tag. But I usually, if it's if they have a smaller following on Instagram or something, in the recently, since my Instagram's been growing, they've at least liked my story where I've tagged them or something like that. And this girl was no acknowledgement, nothing. And she, I think one of them, she saw my story and didn't like it.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was I think that she saw it, but I've never been reached out to regarding a bad review, but I'm the same as you, Bales. I also don't rate books very low. I literally hand out 5-star ratings like they're cheap candy. And I'm a kid in a candy store because I only really pick up books that I am confident that I'm gonna like. I'm really a big, I need to get better at branching out a little bit in my comfort zones, but I'm really a big oh my god, don't waste my time. So I will only pick up books most of the time if somebody that I trust has reviewed it and liked it.
I mean, I try to do that. I feel like I try to read books that I know I'm going to like, but I also read. I feel like,
but I do it to an erotic extent.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I get exactly what you're saying.
Well, and we like odd things.
Yes, exactly.
Our taste is how bizarrely can you make me cry today?
Yes,
you know
exactly.
Okay, comes to mind. First thing you think of, that kind of vibe. Don't feel like there's a right answer in any way, shape, or form. My answer is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Just getting that out of the way. What is the most underrated book that you wish more people would pick up?
I love that.
Oh, I do love that book too.
I didn't know you read that.
It's so autism coded. Yeah,
She
it
wrote it. Yeah, that's
so it's a book that has ASC representation. And I'm reading it because I'm I relate to that.
She's from Montreal.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, she went to a random Montreal bookstore and signed copies, and my boyfriend found out and went and got me one.
Oh,
We
that's
love him.
cool. Yeah, I'd say talking about me now.
Anyway,
You guys.
Sorry, I'm so bad at okay now.
great.
Yeah, I don't know how to move on. I just jump. Anyways.
That's fine. You're
My
killing it.
answer before I forget.
I already
Yes.
said answer too.
Well, it has to be A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly because that's my
Yeah.
obsession from that series. I think that book deserves Quicksilver
Hi.
level height.
It
or,
will get it.
Firebound or all of those. I think that deserves it. I think it's so good.
The indie romantasy that Emmy specifically finds on Kindle to being trad published pipeline is crazy. It needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of haters in the TikTok comments, she's been getting comments recently literally being can you not talk about this, please? Because now the sequel is going to be pushed back because it's going to get picked up by a publisher because you raving about it. Like, it's actually so funny. People are literally asking her not to do her job because they don't want their sequel release to be delayed. Like, girlies, go to the publishers. How about?
Which like mood, but
Okay, mine is going to be, and I feel like you guys already know this answer. It was Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
But then Mariana read Fairy Tale and it like
blew up.
right? Now it is, well, I mean, it always has been. Hollow Heathens and Bone Island by Nicole Fielding in that series. Also, I think if we blow it up, we can bully her into giving us the next book.
yeah.
Because I have been, it's no kidding, been like 2-3 years. And she has been supposed to release The Ghost of No Graves, which is not in that series, but it's her next book. She's been working on it for 2. She said she was going to release it each spooky season. And if she doesn't release it this one, I'm getting a pitchfork. Yeah. Like, I need her writing. She's such a beautiful, poetic writer. And Hollow Heathens and Bone Island are so beautifully written. It's such a unique concept about 2 witch covens and like the cursed masked men in the coven that if you see their face, you're going to see your deepest, darkest fear and die. And like the underlying story throughout, which there's only 2 books so far, but following each heathen in each book and their love story and then the underlying story. I'm sorry, but like it's so unique and so beautifully, you would love it. Her favorite, or one of her favorite authors is Edgar Allan Poe. So it's like, she's so gothic.
Yeah.
She is so gothic. And oh my God, it deserves all the hype.
I thought really hard about it, but I'm a basic bitch and I read a lot of books that have already blown up. I do think I like look at, because I was going through Goodreads, that's why I was on my phone. I promise I was listening to you, but because at first I thought Throne of the Fallen, because I love that book so much, but it has almost 100,000 reviews on Goodreads.
Yeah, that's
so
not,
you-
I think that's an appropriately hyped book.
You're the reason.
But so it is really hyped already. I just haven't heard about it in a while, so I was like, oh shit. But then when I actually thought about it, it's been getting a lot more attention lately. Like the video that I posted about it a couple months ago did really well, and the reviews boosted a bit. But I do think Servant of Earth still, like, it is so. I will stand on the fact that it is literally like if Cruel Prince, like the fairy aspects of Cruel Prince, had a baby with a lot of the storyline and romantic elements of ACOTAR, you would get Servant of Earth. And I just think that it's super underappreciated. It still has like less than 10,000 reviews on Goodreads, and it needs more.
It is perfect.
It's really good. So,
to say.
and the ending just like makes that book. Like it is truly, it can't be overstated how much I love it. I read it by fluke. I committed to reading the arc of the second book by a certain date, and I realized 2 days before that it had a first book. So, and I was too much of a people pleaser to tell these people that I couldn't read it because there was a book before it. So I just literally stayed up, and like it's in my West Coast log, and I had to read both back to back. So that was horrible, but also then I read it and I was like, oh my God, I can put it down. So it was perfect. Anyway, Servant of Earth.
I did read that book because of you, and I have walked past it so many times in the bookstore, and I just like walked straight past. I don't know what it is. It's like the cover is really beautiful, but it's never been like, oh, what is that? I'm going to go read that. And then you started speaking about that, and I was like, wait, that's that book. And then also when I went to download the book and read it for maybe like the 65th time that I'd seen the book cover, I was like, wait, the cover has a girl on it.
Yeah.
Like I just saw it. I was like, how did I not see that?
It just got like no marketing when it came out. Like I didn't see anything about it at the end of November. It was like November of 2024 that it came out, and I didn't see anything about it. It was like almost a year ago now.
You telling me about it was the first time I had ever seen and or heard about that book.
So if you guys are fantasy romance girlies and you like Quill Prince or ACOTAR or both, you should go read it.
What trends on Booktok do you hope stick around, and which ones do you hope fade away? I don't mean like sounds. I just mean like trending, like trending words, trending topics, trending upwards versus downwards vibes.
Okay, so here's
Here's your shtick.
I think it's really great that we have comparisons to be like, if you like this, then you should read this. But I hate the complete dumbing down of it to the point where we're reducing these books to, and there's a shadow daddy, and there's a shadow daddy, and they do this, and that's it. Because it's like there's so much more, but also every fucking fantasy book has that nowadays. You know, so it's like you can go pick up anything and read that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if like comparisons are good if you like the vibe of this, or you like the element of like trials in these books, or if you like the cruel fae from these books, or if you like a celestial magic system or something. But I hate the if you like Hunger Games, this is Hunger Games but with wolves, or if you like this book, this is
with wolves.
like it's so generic.
Hunger Games are there 100.
Yeah, but then it's also setting up these other books to fail because someone's going in with this is going to be exactly like this, and there are
Great
not
disappointment.
specific creators that do it. It's like everyone does it. Like it's such a normal thing in the community to simplify.
Attention span.
Yes, it went from we're gonna like the literature styles of being like, oh, it has to be in depth, and some people are like, no, like we can do that, and then we've gone like too far. In the extreme that now it's like, okay, there's no substance, there's no nothing. So when I'm looking at your reviews, I'm like, okay, but it sounds like every single book, like why should I even stop? Like, I need more words. Give me more.
Give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more, babes.
I actually, expanding on that, well, not really expanding, but I absolutely agree. I don't think that one. Oh, wait, you didn't say one that you think should stay. You just thought one that you thought should go.
Andor.
Well, like anything can go. I think everything needs to kind of fuck off every once in a while to like come back around.
What do you want
too
to
much
say?
and not good. But everything can leave and then it can come back.
Oh my
like, like I just
Yeah.
I don't want to see the same content all the time in formats and stuff.
Fair enough.
So I think we should always be changing and evolving, and trends come and go. We do the rounds. If I've watched the same thing every single day, so I'm like, everything can stay in it. Also, everything can leave.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I love that. So wise. Oh my god, did I press a button? No, we're good. Okay. I really, like I said, to expand, but not really expand on that, I think the mismarketing of books trend like that, it's really misrepresenting like how good these other books are on their own. Like you said. Like, for example, the comparison of Dire Bound to Fourth Wing. I'm so sorry, Fourth Wing was not the first of its kind. There were animals that were bonded to like witches, and they're, what did I say last time? Witches and their familiars. Yes, exactly. That's been a thing. And I mean, yes, there were trials in it, but it was completely different characters, completely different vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like a love triangle in the best way, like that whole thing. Anywho, so that's what I think. But a trend that I really, really love, and I think it's because it allows people the space to have like the people like me who don't really do like solely negative reviews to be able to do that is the yes, no, maybes. I love doing, and I mean, it's a trend, but it also, I've seen a lot of people, like if you read a whole lot of books in the month, they'll do a yes, no, maybe for their month or whatever. And I just think that's a really, really good way to safely and respectfully say, hey, I didn't like this, or hey, I loved it. And it's a really quick way to go through it too. I think if you're wanting quick content or whatever, and if you really, especially someone like me who doesn't always have like a lot of time to film, those are so easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
You know what can stay? Those videos of, who's that? Adian smiled, rowing. And it's like a pigeon. That can stay.
Or an owl.
And he says things, everything can come and go. That can't.
Rowan Whitethorn is here to stay.
Yeah. No idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, because she hasn't read Are
Are you serious?
No.
Wait, we talked about this.
That's at least the memes.
No, she's not allowed on Throne of Glass TikTok because I don't want her to spoil anything for herself.
I've sent you so many of them.
I know. It's my favorite trend ever.
It's
of all time.
literally.
Of all time.
I have so. I'm sorry. That just like I understand
Shocking.
you've not.
Emia's bored.
Ashby right now should stay.
Yeah, actually should say.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I agree. Like, what can go is the mismarketing of books. I do think that, like, in general, I don't think that the commentary on like Booktok dumbs down books. Nobody reads anymore. Blah blah blah. Like, I don't think that's true. I think that there's a lot of people that give a bad name to Booktok because of the videos that they post like that.
I also think
Yes.
there's an audience out there for everyone because people reading different genres and different types of books. There's so many different types of readers. So
Yes.
you could find specific creators who can explain things or break things down to
Yes.
you or give you reviews in a way that you appreciate, understand, and relate to. Versus
sure.
like someone else who has no interest in that will find value in a different type of creator.
For sure.
Beauty of Booktok.
No, but I do think that in general, I think that and like you can disagree with me, that's totally fine. Like this is my opinion about this matter. Trigger warning, opinions. I think that I do agree that I think the concept of skim reading for the sake of reading faster and finishing more books just is such a foreign, ridiculous concept to me. Like, I've had people,
What's the point of that?
I've seen people be like, I just like skip and I read the dialogue and I skim over everything else.
No,
I'm
because
like,
the emotion, when you're in their
What's the
heads
point?
describing,
When you watch a
they're
TV
not talking
show.
to all of their emotions.
That's like dead on the equivalent of watching something while scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like watching a movie while scrolling on TikTok.
yeah, and like I understand, like sometimes you just need junk for your brain, and sometimes you just need to rot it a little bit. Like sometimes I rewatch The Vampire Diaries for the 875th time. Am I getting anything out of that? No. But like reading isn't the thing for that, in my opinion. Like I think that reading is like you don't have to be reading like classical like in-depth literature constantly to be getting something out of reading. I think you can do that, but like I've gotten something out of the trashy romantasy that people think that is like a joke to literature. Does that make sense? So like every book that I've read, I've gotten something out of it. But like every book that I've read, I've gotten something out of it.
She actually doesn't read books.
Every book that I've read, I've gotten something out of it, no matter what it's about. And I think that the only way that you can do that is if you're actually reading. So I think that people that are like, here's how to read really fast without actually like letting your brain absorb it and thinking about it and blah blah blah, and here's how it, like it's just like, okay, why? Like I get that that's like the type of content that some people do, but it's just like, to me, I'll never get it. So I think that
Have you read Morning Glory Milking Farm? What could you get out of it? I'm just kidding. I'm literally, because actually I've heard that there's a good message.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What could you get out of that, Billy? You can get a lot.
I have seen some other. That's the book that Imani wants to read. That she heard of. Yeah, that's how I first heard of it.
Sometimes all you get out of it is like a nut. And really, you're still getting something out of it, but it's unlikely you're gonna do that if you're skimming as fast as you can. Soak it in, girls. I'm like,
I am speechless. Like truly. But yeah,
Extended cut.
the whole skimming thing is wild because the number one comment I get is, how do I read faster? And I've had to make a few videos out. I'm like, you just don't.
yeah.
But yeah, we can be like, Emmy, tell us about these 20 books that you read 2 years ago, and she would talk for 5 hours.
And that's it. You can, to read faster, the number one thing that I found is like, you underestimate how much you doom scroll and let other things distract you. If you want to read faster, like, put distractions away and force yourself to do it. That's
Brown
really
noise.
you know what I mean?
The
Like,
amount of
find
people
things that help you lock in, but it doesn't mean like, there's not a way to help you read and absorb the things on the page unless you practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the more you read, the more you do this. Like, everybody's brain works in different ways, and it's like exercising. It's literally exercising a muscle, but it's your neurons and it's different parts of your brain. So I just think skim reading is
I
stupid.
love it when you talk smart to me.
Cut the cameras.
Love it.
Okay, 2 more. One, both kind of quick. I'm sorry I kept you guys for so long.
No, you're so funny.
If you could live inside any book, what would it be?
Okay, I was thinking about this when I was in the shower, like
Interesting.
a couple hours ago.
Oh, okay, cool. Look.
Like I genuinely had that thought because while I was taking the shower, I was like, God, I love showers. Like, there's nothing in life I think that brings me as much joy as a shower after like a really long day.
Mhm.
And I was like, I would not survive in any fantasy book that doesn't have plumbing.
Yeah.
So when I think about what fantasy world, it has to be it has to be contemporary. Like, it has to be, or like an urban fantasy or something,
Yeah.
modern day. Preferably like a world where there's not like an ongoing.
I don't necessarily
whole
mean survive. I mean,
no, but like
no,
no, but like I will die in any like any books that I read.
She's
there
such
is
a realist.
war. Yeah, no, there's war going on. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna.
War!
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I always take that question more as like, what world do you want to like wake up and see outside of your window? And it'd be like, oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
like, do you think I want to wake up and see the middle of a battlefield like going on with like?
But what about after the epilogue?
Yeah. Like, wouldn't you love to see like for 10 minutes, like Once Upon a Broken Heart?
No, I think I would be.
Valaris?
No, it's still scary. There's like just things flying, and like I just no. I also think I'd be too freaked out to be like, why are they?
Well,
why
And he said she's 10 toes down for the real world.
Yeah.
You're being so realistic.
I know, because I
love it.
thought about this in depth. Like,
She's like, if I say it, it might come true.
yeah, but then I'm also like, if I see like Valaris or something,
Mhm.
I never want to leave. Like, I'd be so depressed. It would
Yes.
send me into like a spiral because I'm like, why can't I actually live in this world? And then it makes me delusional that my boyfriends actually exist and I have a chance. I'm so sorry to my boyfriend
This
who I
is
love.
the biggest, answer ever. Like, I've never felt like I knew you more than like hearing this answer and being like, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, it's urban fantasy, it's contemporary, it's something. Honestly, anything that I love that has running water and no more.
She's like, because I'm in the city and I'm just an extra.
Scotland.
Yeah.
I will do that. Yeah,
Love.
that's it.
So I have two options. One is going to be the Tales of Weeping Hollow series by Nicole Fiorina, because that town is like shrouded by magic, so no one can really get in.
Vibes.
And it's witchy, and it's literally Halloween 24/7. It's like Halloween Town,
Love.
you know. And also Magnolia Parks, because love my husband, but I am delusional, and I fear I would literally just want to live on Lake Como with Julian Yates.
She just wants to shoot her shot.
I really think he would actually hate me, because I am nothing like Magnolia. I'm more Daisy coded than I am Magnolia coded, I feel like. But the things that my husband is very Julian coded. You know what? I get the best of both worlds. We're fine. We're fine. It's totally fine.
When you think about it, like, obviously I would love to live in a world where I could be in Terrazin and Rowan Whitethorn as my husband, but I think that in terms of like the world strictly, this is so niche, but like Starcrossed by Josephine Angelini is a very, very, very formative series for me. Like when we were talking about books that got us into reading, I forgot about it. But that was one of them. And it was literally because it's kind of like Percy Jackson vibes, but romantic, and it's like about scions and Greek gods and stuff like that. And this bitch can fly and do really cool things and like get like inherit powers from Greek gods. I just would love a world where like we're a little bit worried about the like Poseidon coming down and like drowning us.
Percy Jackson would be a good, like, anything Greek mythology.
Yeah, Emmy's like, I don't want to live in a world where there's anything scary. I'm like, it'd be sick if like Poseidon just came and like started releasing sea creatures on people, and it was not sick, but like I just think that'd be kind of cool to be a little bit of a freak. And I love
demigods.
Yeah, like demigods, and like that's what I would want to be, a cool one. And I would want to be able to fly and live in a really cute little house in Nantucket and have like the Greek god powers. Does that make sense?
I would want to be Hades's child. To be completely honest, I feel like
you would.
So...
You would want to. I just like, yeah, I think that anything with like a really rich Greek mythology element, and I think that the way Starcrossed was written was like, I love the idea of like a little cute East Coast quaint like island.
That
and
is you.
They're like sick demigods with powers.
It's like a layer on top of our world. But
yes.
Yeah.
It's like an alternate version of Earth, but like, so I guess similar. Like I don't mind Earth that much.
It's like Earth, but with magic.
Yeah. And yeah.
Also, I feel like a beach, like a little cottage on a beach, is the most you-coded thing.
I want one.
You will have one.
And last but not least, and this is kind of just for like my archives more than anything, but right now, currently while we were sitting here, we just completed like day one officially of being here. So at this point in the trip, what is your favorite moment so far? If I had to give mine, which I'm going to give mine just for the archives of it all, is we filmed a video for Emmy today that was, we bought books for each other, and it was inadvertently so emotional and sentimental. Yeah. It was supposed to be funny, and it became sentimental in a good way. In a funny, sentimental way, but that's my favorite.
Mine is the same.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
See,
so much
sentimental.
fun. I'm so excited to sit and like edit that, and now we have this time capsule of one of my favorite memories of the trip so far that I can go back and rewatch and look at forever.
It's fine, I'll cry.
I think mine has been like when we're eating. This is so random, but I mean, well, it's not really random. I guess it's like, you know, whatever. But I feel like we talk about like really deep and also random shit. Like when we were eating 25 chicken fingers from Raising Cane's last night, or when we were at the table today eating Tex-Mex, you know, I love chatting over a meal. I just think that is so much, me getting like deep about food. It's so mundane. It's like so normal, but I also feel like people rush through so many things now, and we've really been taking our time with everything on this trip. And so like those are my favorite moments. Yeah.
My favorite moment was when Emmy held my hand during City of Bones last night.
That was
Me being like, this is so deep, and you're like, yeah, we were like gushing.
No, I
about
actually
these
was
ones.
excited because like I feel like I bridged like the physical gap with Bailey after I accidentally showed you my nipples in the bready mouth change room. I'm like, you know what I mean? And then Emmy wasn't there for that. And then I'm always so nervous to like actually like, you know, make that last leap towards like friendship with someone in the physical touch sense and cuddle almost. And I sat so close to Emmy that I was suctioned against her and I was like, are you comfortable? And we watched a movie and I was like, yes, this is progress. And honestly, just like watching City of Bones in general, and like I have wanted to share in my love for this series to a deep level with people since I was like literally 13 years old. And I just feel like that was a really core memory for me. And
core memory for me, watching the movie for the first time when I was so obsessed with Cassandra Clare and like reading it.
seeing it come to life. Yeah. Like no matter what people have to say about that movie, seeing it come to life is so exciting.
There was no other way than to watch it together.
Yeah. And then getting ready in the bathroom this morning.
That was so fun.
That
Yeah.
girlhood.
Yeah.
Those are my two.
And on that note, my camera is going to die, so I'm going to say this really quickly, but I hope you got to learn a little bit about my favorite people, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed getting to know them. And I love you. I hope to see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.
Thanks, guys. That was so nice.